Here's an in-depth review of the iQOO 15. Compared to the iQOO 15, why does it truly excel? And is its performance tuning better? Aside from cosmetic changes, it received 3 main upgrades: a cooling fan, gaming shoulder buttons, and an increased battery to 7400 mAh. Let's first look at its fan. The air intake is located below the camera, while the side openings serve as exhaust vents. The iQOO's fan area is very large, allowing it to effectively cover the motherboard, dissipating heat faster. There's even a dedicated fan adjustment option in the game sidebar. In recent years, phones with fans all support anti-sleep mode, and iQOO is no exception. Its gaming shoulder buttons are a return to the classic of the first generation, but I'd rather call it a powerful comeback. You can set 2 buttons on both the left and right sides, and also configure operations like single tap, long press, or continuous tapping. Once configured, for example, the triangle axis can better achieve the jump stretch technique. Red and blue players can more easily execute moves like slide jump, pull, or scissor jump. Secondly, its shoulder buttons have a 600Hz sampling rate, triggering with a light touch, making them very responsive. The shoulder buttons are also positioned closer to the edge, so even players with small hands can easily press them. Plus, each press of a shoulder button has a screen light effect, providing a truly immersive experience. In Peace Elite, you can one-tap aim and fire, or quickly peek left and right. In short, shoulder buttons offer advanced gameplay, so feel free to explore them yourself. For performance, it still features the latest 5th Gen Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and iQOO's custom esports chip Q3. iQOO's super resolution game graphics are in a league of their own. Speaking of which, I need to correct some misinformation online. Super resolution doesn't affect touch, and if you can't tell the difference between super resolution and super frame, then there's no need to comment blindly. In the iQOO new version settings, I recommend you just enable the ultra high resolution option in the middle, because enabling extreme resolution will default to frame interpolation. Actual tests show that the middle settings resolution also results in higher game quality. Also, compared to the iQOO 15, the 15 Pro's default game graphics will have better official optimization. For example, in Delta Force with iQOO 15's default settings, if you enable 144 frames per second, you're forced to choose smooth graphics, but the 15 Pro at 144 FPS can still select extreme graphics, a direct jump of 4 tiers. For Peace Elite, the official settings are quite open, and smooth 144 FPS plus 1080p resolution is also most people's choice. Next, for game performance, we'll start with Peace Elite. Let's see how it performs in the new version's main city, with about 25 players in a gunfight. Compared to the iQOO 15, honestly, I don't even know how to evaluate it, because both use the same chip and system. They both feel very powerful to me, and both are stable. The frame rate during gunfights is mostly between 141 and 143, nearly max frame rate, with a fluctuation range of only about 4 frames. But the iQOO 15 has a cooling fan. In winter, with lower ambient temps, its presence isn't very noticeable. However, in summer, its cooling would be much stronger, making thermal throttling less likely. This would certainly give it an overall performance advantage. As for other aspects like touch control and screen mirroring, there's no need to elaborate. iQOO's performance has always been top tier, which is why I've always used it as my main gaming phone. During one session, I recorded a frequency of 143.3 and an average power consumption of about 5.4 watts. Playing for an hour, the battery dropped 15%. It's quite cold today, the ambient temperature is 6.3, and the phone's temperature is around 33 degrees. For Delta Force, I used it to complete the entire 3x3 mission, so I should have the most to say about its performance. Even while charging and playing, its frame rate could run around 143 in every round, still close to max frames. And for Honor of Kings, there's even less to say. As a competitive gaming device, it consistently runs at max frames every match. There's really nothing more to add. The recorded frame rate still hits a full 144, a perfectly stable line, averaging about 4.1 watts. Other specs are largely the same as the iQOO 15,15, especially its top-tier Samsung M14 screen, a luxury for any gaming phone. It also boasts Wardrum Master coaxial dual speakers, so the iQOO 15 Ultra, building on the iQOO 15, is more professional and extreme, ideal for gamers seeking ultimate performance.